Hello, fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to Power Up Gamers. I'm Driven D&D, the Disabled DM, and this is going to be a video response to Map and Dragons' video on dialogue. He made some very good points with dialogue that I thought was quite interesting. He put aside the common definition of dialogue as talking in between characters. That's understood to be what dialogue is. But he went into more of portraying your character. And that's an important part of dialogue. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. For example, anyone can go into a tavern and then order a drink. Hey, bartender, give me a drink. Hey, bartender, I want a drink and make it snappy. Hey, just that little bit extra is the big thing with dialogue. You can use almost identical words and it will carry the same meaning each time. But how you say it's going to determine how NPCs, PCs, etc. interact with your character. So that's the first point I wanted to make, was it's all in how you say it. The second point I wanted to make is similar to what Maps and Dragons portraying your character. Will your character actually say it? And if so, how would they say it? Not every character is going to go into a bar, order a drink, or be loud, boisterous, step up in front of a ruler, and speak their mind. And if they do, they're gonna have different ways of doing so. For example, a character who's loud, boisterous, and really doesn't care what others think of them is going to be very blunt, kind of gruff, but he'll honestly speak what's on his mind. Whereas a character who's more quiet, more swayed by what others think, is going to do things very politically. So that's just kind of my thoughts on the basics of dialogue. Is you have to figure out who there is as a person, as a personality, and portray that in the manner of speaking. Whether they might be hesitant to speak, they might be soft-spoken, they might be loud and boisterous, they might be very blunt. That's up for the players to decide. Right. So that's the real basics of dialogue. Another point I do want to kind of stress because I've seen it happen a lot when there's dialogue between an NPC A and a PC A, is that it gets dragged out to the point almost of excluding other people. And sometimes it's okay to have a moment or two where one character's in the spotlight, but it shouldn't last more than a minute or two. If he's given a rousing speech, for example, or you can look to one of his companions after a minute and say, "Isn't that right, lad?" And give that chance for the other players also to interact and say, "Yes, we should all band together and do this," or whatever the situation is. It's that way you're kind of sharing the spotlight, instead of hogging it for 5 or 10 minutes. It's on one character who's doing this amazing thing, which is great that he's doing it for the story, but make it part of the entire group is partaking of that scene. And usually the DM handles this, or the game master handles this. It's by kind of shifting the spotlight. But it's really nice when the players include each other, so the DM doesn't have to. So that's my thoughts on dialogue. I just kind of wanted to hope everyone enjoys the video, and if you got any comments, please feel free to leave them below. And then may the dice always roll in your favor.